Hey guys, welcome back to Angry Mack Adventures, and in this episode we're painting the floor with the non-skid Kiwigrip, so stay tuned.
I just want a bag, like an old lady. I'm backwoods smoking, I don't own papers, pass that 808. That don't shake her. Oh, bitch, you know I'm grinding like a pro skater. Baby mama bugging, I'm so quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed.
So if you guys haven't seen, Billy has finished the boat and I could not be happier. So a big shout out to Billy. It's almost every night and weekends we've been working on this Voyager, going from stripping it all out, restoring the transom, redoing a couple of the stringers, the floor. We finally finished the boat, and yeah, I'm absolutely stoked. Can't wait to start putting it back together and getting it on the water. So let's do this. Alright, let's get straight to it. So in today's video I'm showing you guys how I did my floor with the Kiwigrip non-skid system. So I got Billy to overspray the seats so I can run myself a nice line with the tape and then get the non-skid through the middle here. Now I'm not going to tape down the sides because I'm not phased, as on the sides here we're going to be putting a strip of carpet, so that doesn't really need to be taped up, but I'll tape along here, tape the sides here, and then I'm bringing the non-skid to the corners as well as bringing it all to the back. So I'll tape it all up and then we can start the sanding process. Alright, so everything's taped up. I did run out of masking tape from the boat, so I had to improvise here and use a bit of electrical tape, but I had just enough to put some on the edges so I can get a nice curve, and taped up the sides there. So I am going to be putting this in the non-skid texture as well, just so it blends in a little bit with the floor, but that's about it. So as soon as we've done this, I'll start sanding it and then we can get it prepped up so we can start putting this on. It'll be fun. Because I want all my curves to be the same, I've just used an electrical tape, but you can use whatever radius you want. I'm just drawing it up on a bit of cardboard, cut it out, and then I've got myself a template so I can cut like that. Once I've marked it out, I'm just running the Stanley knife around. Look, there's many ways to do this, but I'm just going to do it this way. I've never used this stuff before, so definitely a first time for me, so we can learn together, I guess. Look at that, beautiful. You got yourself a nice edge. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. So what the plan is, I think I'll just go from halfway here to this side, or even just where I could reach. And what I'm going to do is I want it to be a little bit more aggressive, so I did ring them up and ask them how I get it more aggressively, and they did say to let it sit for a little bit and then start rolling it. So there was none in Perth, but they usually come with a Kiwigrip roller, texture roller, but I ended up going down to Bunnings and got something pretty similar to what it comes with, but I had to improvise a little bit. But I bought that. I've got myself a brush to brush it on quite thick, and I've also got one of these rollers just in case that is not working out the way I planned. So hopefully this gets in those tight corners, and I've got myself a roller. So that's the tools I'll be using today. So I've got one of these, good for the edges, because Billy's sprayed up here. That's where the corner of the paint's going to be sitting, so that's where it's more likely to chip. So just want to make sure that that's sanded properly. Now, like anything when you're painting, it's always good to get some type of solvent, like wax and grease remover, minimal terps, and just give the surface a nice white. I've actually never used this before, but I've got the grey, so it'll get a nice contrast with the white that I'm going for here. So the white, black and grey theme. And what's it say here? Application: evenly spread with a brush to cover approximately 1/4 to 1/2 square meter at a time. Immediately follow with the texture roller. There we go. Working time 35 minutes, dry time 12 hours. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be doing this half here and then work our way back. I'll be actually curious to see how thick this stuff is too, because it claims to be pretty thick. So wait. Let's see how thick this stuff is. Oh wow, that's like a putty. Oh, that's nice. Okay, that's a lot better than I thought. New roller got a little bit stuck. This one spins a little bit more freely. So if I jump in here, it says to wait a couple of minutes, which I have. Should start getting that texture, which is exactly what I want. Look at that. Yeah, see what's happening there? It's like the white's coming through, but I don't know if that might be the aftermarket roller that I'm using, or I'm not sure. So it's definitely starting to turn out a lot better. So I've worked out the technique, and you just got to apply a lot of pressure. Straight down, forward movements, which gets you your nice texture that you want. A little bit of clean up to do, but that's okay. Oh. I'll tell you what, it's pretty satisfying though, look at that. There we go. So just a little bit of a clean on the sides. That's no biggie. Well, for a first go, I'm pretty damn stoked with that. So we'll let it dry, and then we'll get on to stage 2. So it was a bit of a funny process towards the end, but I ended up just rolling out everything around me and then jumping out the boat and doing the last bit. So it didn't turn out too bad. Alright, so it's the next day and the Kiwigrip's dry. Well, it's not 100% dry, that's why I'm in socks right now. It does say to walk on this with soft shoes within the 12 hours, but it actually turned out really, really nice, and I'm stoked with the outcome. So, really, really nice texture. Sorry, it's a little bit dirty from my socks, but looks really nice. So the contrast of the grey to the white, I don't mind whatsoever, so really happy with that. So I hope you guys learnt a thing or two. I actually really like the paint. It's nice and thick. It's almost like a putty-like material. It's one part as well, so you pretty much prep down where you want to paint this stuff. You brush it on with just a normal fence brush, and then you use the texture roller to roll it on, so it's really easy to apply. I didn't have the Kiwigrip texture roller, but the one from Bunnings that I bought worked just as fine, and we got a really nice texture. So one thing that was probably my fault, some areas I didn't put enough, so you can probably see the white come through, which is just the bottom coat there. So I will put another layer of this paint on, but other than that, I'm really, really happy with the product. So that turned out awesome. One thing I need help with, and that's actually naming the boat. I have no idea what to name this boat. My first boat, my center console from the first couple of videos of the channel was called Angry Mack because of Angry Mack Adventures, but I want something a little bit fresh, a little bit new for the boat. So if you guys have any ideas, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. But that's it for me today. I'll see you in the next one.
Are you talking to yourself?
No, I'm recording.